ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे। श्री वाल्मीकि रामायण by Rupa Raghunatha Vani Publications. Canto 2, Ayodhya Kanda. Canto Summary. When Rama, though whose form is filled with all auspicious qualities, increased in brilliance with his beloved wife, like the moon with the moonshine, King Dasharatha shone in complete perfection with the waves of prosperity, like the king of the rivers. The king rejoiced even more upon hearing the news of his son Bharata, who had gone to the home of his maternal grandfather Kekaya with Shatrughna for a long time to study several arts. When the innumerable transcendental qualities of Rama were spoken by people in assemblies, streets, houses, and shops, the king's heart and the people shone, shone is shone, shine, past and shone in complete satisfaction and magnanimity. So here we can understand that when we engage in discussing about the transcendental qualities of Rama or Krishna, Supreme Lord, our heart will shine in complete satisfaction and magnanimity. And this also um, is also giving example of how people should live in society. So people were discussing about Rama in assemblies, streets, houses, shops, meaning everywhere. No useless prajalpa, no useless discussion about the material world, material things, etc. If somebody wants to speak, they should speak about the Supreme Lord. Consulting his important ministers such as Sumantra and Brahmanas absorbed in spiritual mantras, King Dasharatha invited his excellent neighboring kings and all of his subjects to coronate Rama. Surrounded by his associates, the king was resplendent with the respect offered in the assembly, like Indra with the devas in Swarga and like the moon with the stars in the sky. Emperor Dasharatha controlled the force of his cherished desires and spoke the following words. If all of you think so, we can appoint my young son Sri Rama as the crown prince. Upon hearing these words, the hairs of the citizens stood on their end. Their eyes were filled tears of joy. Rama was in their hearts. They joined their palms in supplication and placed them above their heads. Their faces blossomed and they said, very good, very good. Very good, very good in Sanskrit would be sadhu, sadhu. No clapping. This is another culture, cultural shock. Vedic culture to Western culture. In Vedic culture, there's no concept of clapping. If somebody is in a wants to appreciate somebody else, then the words used are sadhu, sadhu. Anyway, the other important part here is that Rama was in their hearts. Mm. So this is where all of us have to get to, where the Supreme Lord is in our heart. And whenever we hear anything about the Lord, we should experience ecstasy, hairs standing on end, mm, eyes filled with tears of joy. This is what has to be experienced. Of course, today our heart is full of material things, material thoughts, material pains, material pleasures. So Rama cannot live in that kind of a heart. He wants platform of Shuddha Sattva, pure above material modes. Only then he can reside. So that is the reason these jivas are citizens of Ayodhya, because they are pure devotees, eternal associates of the Lord. When the residents of the city and countryside and the king's bodyguards desired to speak more, the elders in the assembly, knowing their views, suddenly spoke the following words, rich in meaning. This large populace is always coronating Rama in their minds and speech. So beautiful. They're always coronating Rama in their minds and speech. O ruler of the worshipable, O king, perform your duty of conducting a grand coronation for Sri Ramachandra. O master of the citizens, like a lodestone attracts iron pieces through its rays of magnetism, your son attracts the minds of citizens in the mode of goodness with his natural and innumerable auspicious qualities. So while the Lord does this, even his devotees do this, because they have just pure devotion in their hearts. They'll be, yeah, in the mode of goodness or above goodness, and they attract the minds of everybody they come in contact with because of their natural and innumerable auspicious qualities. And we know that today we have many inauspicious qualities, but these inauspicious qualities will go if we want them to go. So many of us struggle with inauspicious qualities in our heart, and we might even think that this is going to be like this forever. That is actually an indication of false ego, thinking that we are so powerful that we can actually, uh, you know, get rid of our inauspicious qualities or develop auspicious qualities. It is just false ego, it's arrogance, it's pride. We're just helpless, insignificant jivas. Our only position is to always be at the lotus feet of Lord and beg for mercy and his devotees, beg for mercy of his devotees. And by that mercy only we can actually give up any bad qualities or develop some good qualities, not by our endeavor. And if we want, then these bad qualities will go if we want. But the important part is whether we want it. Unfortunately, we want to increase our material attachment, hoping for some happiness of some sort. Mm. So we should understand that this is just illusion. There's nothing like happiness in this material world. It's all just misery, because if anything takes us away from Krishna, it's misery. And we should all try not to aggravate our material condition. Prabhupada writes saying that, we are having material fever and we try to increase that fever. At least we should not try to increase that fever. We might not be able to reduce it. At least we should try not to increase that fever. For that, we should be in solid association, hear regularly, chant nicely, engage in service of Vaishnavas, and hope that they shower their mercy upon us. If you want to increase our material fever, then we associate with non-devotees. A learned scholar may count the particles of dust on earth. Who can count your son's transcendental qualities? He is smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest, heavier than the heaviest, and lighter than the lightest. He is the controller of all. His desires become fulfilled automatically. He is independent and is filled with all opulences. Merely by the movement of his eyebrows, Rama can bring about the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the worlds with Brahma, Shiva, and Indra, for such are the powerful abilities of a true hero. The moon of his fame defeats the full moon, for the moon of his glory does not merely cause the Kumuda to fully blossom. Kumuda is a flower. And the heavens delighted. It is also full in the dark and bright fortnights and is absolutely spotless. Meaning the moon, it has this full moon, whatever, Purnima, Amavasya and all that. But the moon, full moon of his glory, of Lord Rama, it's always full, always in full blossom. Piercing through the earth, Mahalakshmi herself became a daughter of a king and obtained Sri Rama hmm, out of her greed for him, though the prosperity of her beauty is unlimited and unparalleled in all the worlds. Herself, piercing through the earth because she appeared, in the field. Uh, so here it's being said, she piercing through the earth, Mahalakshmi herself became a daughter of a king and obtained Sri Rama out of her greed for him. Laulyam ekam maulyam. We should have this greed to achieve Krishna. It doesn't matter whether we are qualified or not. It doesn't even matter if we have material attachments. None of the other things matter. What matters is whether we want to achieve Krishna, whether we have that greed. If we have that greed, then automatically Krishna will pull us out. Krishna will pull us. That one thing is enough. Just that one thing. We might be a heap of bad qualities otherwise. But just if this one most powerful thing exists in our heart, which is greed to attain Krishna, then everything else over a period of time will just become like, uh, you know, dust, like burnt up. Which is why, it's very difficult to understand bhakti. Process of jnana, we have to give up all this, we have to become completely pure, qualification is required. But bhakti, no qualification is required. Because that is the state of all of us in this Kali Yuga. But all we need to do is develop that intense desire to achieve Krishna, develop that intense greed to serve Him, to serve His devotees, to serve Vaishnavas, and not for material well-being. We want to go here, there, we want to do things, we want to buy things, we want this, that, useless things. That's not going to help us. And like I said, even if we have all these material attachments, still, if somehow or other we are able to develop that greed to achieve Krishna, whoever is our Ishtadeva, then our life can become successful, not otherwise. Otherwise, we are in very sad state, very sorry state. Too much material attachments. So we should develop this greed for him. Let us establish this Rama as the crown prince. This great being has none equal or superior to him in knowledge. He knows about everything in existence, in past, present, or future, in all detail, just as one would know about an excellent necklace in his hand. He constantly relishes his own bliss that is not meager or reproachable. His mind is not disturbed by the disease of attachment to women, kingdom, treasury, and so on. So this is a disease of attachment. Mm. His mind is not disturbed, but our minds are disturbed. So to get out of the disturbance is to develop this greed, to associate with those devotees who have that greed and serve with them. Then that will rub off. That will have an effect on us. Rama possesses 6 qualities, 5 features, and 3 potencies. He causes 3 ascensions and possesses 3 perfections. He possesses all these in 2 forms, in terms of the teachings of the Vedic scriptures and the Artha Shastra. Okay, there's a footnote here. Rama possesses 6 qualities, which is uh, the qualities of Bhagavan, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasya, Shriyaha, Dana, Vairagya. His 5 features are the 5 spiritual forms: Narayana, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. His 3 potencies are his potencies of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. He causes 3 ascensions, meaning 3 people to ascend, which is who are Aruna, Usha, and Surya. His 3 perfections are his glory, prowess, and heroism. So this is as per Vedic scriptures. As per Arthashastra, there are other indications. Anyway, we are not so interested in this Arthashastra. Okay, actually, it might be useful for people because many of us are on the material platform. Yeah. So he has 6 qualities: the ability to negotiate a truce with opponents, to quarrel with a weak opponent, to march towards and attack an unsubmissive opponent, to station by an opponent's kingdom to observe it, to create dissension among opponents and take shelter of a strong opponent. Okay, so this is because he's a Kshatriya. It's all in connection with Kshatriya Dharma. Okay, this is okay. We don't need this. The supremacy of Brahma, the prowess of Shiva, and the opulence of Indra, as well as the auspicious qualities of others, are merely reflections of Rama's transcendental qualities. Kamadeva, the moon, the sun, Kuvera, and the earth endeavor to imitate this flag of Raghu's dynasty in terms of his beauty, cooling effect, brilliance, wealth, and tolerance, respectively. Your son is the best in the three worlds, for he is complete with generosity, sweetness, auspicious tolerance, heroism, gravity, intelligence, greatly noble behavior, and innumerable other transcendental qualities. Hmm. So he's complete with generosity, sweetness, auspicious tolerance, heroism, gravity, intelligence, greatly noble behavior, and innumerable other transcendental qualities. Are his wishes not fulfilled? Question mark. He obtains whatever he wants anywhere at all times. So how can lust ever attack your son? He is Sita's husband and Brahma's master. Nothing pleasing to him is destroyed, and there is no possibility of him having to be with anything displeasing to him. Mm. Nothing pleasing to him is destroyed. If we become the cause of his pleasure, then we won't get destroyed, meaning our bhakti will not get destroyed. And there's no possibility of anybody displeasing to be with him. So if we are displeasing to devotees, then we are displeasing to the Supreme Lord, so he will not want us to be around him. Anger is thus defeated by him and it worships the dust of his lotus feet. Abandoning this kingdom, he can even happily and suddenly depart to the forest, which becomes true subsequently. He can even give himself to the saints. Greed has no place in Rama. How can delusion exist in him by whose mercy delusion and other contamination in the heart become destroyed? How can darkness exist in the sun when dense darkness is dispelled at sunrise? Saints refer to the prideful conception that one has good qualities that do not exist in him as false ego. There's not even a bit of false ego in Rama because there's no auspicious quality that does not exist in him. Noble souls state that the mental anxiety is not under my control is envy. When we think, oh, that someone is not under our control, that is envy. If he under whose control this universe is envious, horses would have horns. So in this paragraph, actually, it is established that Lord Rama does not possess any of the six defects. Lust, anger, greed, delusion, pride, and envy. These are six defects. I'm reading again. Lust, anger, greed, delusion, pride, and envy does not exist in Rama. And these are six defects which exist in all conditioned souls. Pride, inattention, fear, distress, lamentation, hunger, thirst, and the defects due to Kapha Pitta Vayu do not exist in Rama, who has been described in the Shruti as Aditya Varnam Tamasap Parastat. Every good quality is in Rama and every defect is absent in him. O king, what is the need for more talk when sense perception, logical inference, and Vedic testimony are the evidence in this regard? He is forgiving, tranquil, sweet in speech, content, always devoid of cruelty, of unparalleled glory. Rama has been accepted by the moving, non-moving, and the unintelligent as an ocean of auspicious qualities. O king, for your own good, give the kingdom to Rama, who is naturally perfect, just as the Arghya water is offered to the ocean, that is a source of jewels, and just as a lamp is offered to the sun, that illuminates the three worlds. Vasishta and other spiritual masters among the assembly who had constantly experienced Rama's affection spoke thus. Honored by everyone, Dasharatha then promised to hand over the earth to his well behaved son. So beautiful. Uh, just imagine. Oh, eventually, all these qualities have to develop in us, at least in minute quantities. Looks like a long list. Anyway, Lord is so merciful. Mhm. And is also forgiving. So even if we make mistakes, but we are sincere and repentant, Lord will forgive us and give us His mercy, only by which we can hope to come to this state. After Dasharatha spoke, the large crowd danced in delight. The words "good, good" was heard everywhere. Observing the people's love for his son, the king shone with the drops of tears that had fallen from his eyes, resembling pearls. He spoke the following to Vasishta and other senior Brahmanas: I will coronate the lotus-eyed Rama as the crown prince. There is Pushya Yoga tomorrow, and it is recommended in this month that conjoins with the nakshatra Chitra. Kindly order for the ingredients to coronate him on this occasion according to the scriptural regulation. When Brahma's son was thus requested by Dasharatha, which is Vasishta, he quickly requested for various ingredients for the coronation: new clothes, jewels, honey, all kinds of herbs, golden pots, and water from 100 holy places. Men quickly arranged for them and all other kinds of items on the order of Vasishta. Sumantra, quickly bring Rama, who charms my heart. On this order of the king, the minister got on his chariot and departed to Rama's home. With his palms joined in supplication, Sumantra informed the lotus navel lord about his father's order, and the lord immediately got on that chariot. So he got on Sumantra's chariot only. He did not wait for another chariot to be prepared. Surrounded by his neighboring kings, the emperor in his palace saw his son arriving and was extremely pleased in mind. So everybody was still there. Uh, he wanted Rama to come just then. So Rama immediately comes. Rama had the complexion of a dark lotus. He was an allurement for Lakshmi. His face resembled the full moon. He was naturally and slightly smiling. That hero's form was like that of a lion. His gait was that of a pride elephant. He was superior to everyone. His eyes were red like lotus leaves. He was decorated with all kinds of ornaments. Every part of his body was beautiful. He pleased every sense of the onlookers. He was the lord of all who had arrived. He glanced at those who glorified him by saying all glories to Rama, and brought about their auspiciousness by just glancing. He spoke moderately, and his smile preceded his speech. His smile preceded his speech. The king saw his son from a distance. Rama was a father to his devoted people. He resembled Yamaraja to his enemies. He was recognized as the supreme Brahman by the god realized. The lotus eyes of the king were not at all satiated, even by repeatedly drinking the most rare nectar of Rama's charming beauty. So beautiful. The lotus eyes of the king were not at all satiated even by repeatedly drinking the most rare nectar of Rama's charming beauty. Rama got down from the chariot. His earrings shook as he moved, and he was charming to the mind. Dasharatha was happy to meet his son, who had climbed up to the palace and who had stooped low with humility. With his hands that imitated the sprout of the Parijata plant, hands that imitated the sprout of the Parijata plant, he offered his obeisances unto the feet of his father after uttering his name. The king, not following the proper sequence of prescribed conduct, placed the detached Rama, who was bowing down to offer him full obeisances, on his lap, and then delightedly embraced him. When the king did this, he drenched his son with tears of joy. He fulfilled all of his purposes when he then told Rama, become the emperor. When he sat on a throne made of pure gold on the order of his father, the Lord of the universe surpassed in brilliance the illuminator of the world that had reached the Udaya mountain, meaning the sun. Words of fragrance esteemed by members of the assembly emanated from the lotus lake of the king. Uh, words of fragrance, meaning very sweet words, fragrant words, esteemed by the members of the assembly, emanated from the lotus lake of the king when the moon of Rama had risen. On the pretext of making you the crown prince, I will coronate you, who possess all good qualities, to rule over the kingdom. My child, please permit this activity. My dear, I will retire after handing over the responsibility of maintaining the earth to you, who are capable of shouldering this responsibility, for my endeavors have become feeble due to old age. Rama accepted the request of his father and thus satisfied him. He then reached his home. Then the king also entered his inner quarters. The king then saw inauspicious omens, and because he knew about omens, he became worried. He again called his son and spoke to Rama in private. I have worshipped Lord Vishnu through sacrifices. I have given in charity. I have enjoyed my life within spiritual bounds. And I properly carried out my specific duties. But the result of all those activities, coronating you as the crown prince, seems impossible. There are inauspicious omens in my dreams and wakeful state that portend my death, that will bring about obstacles to my plan. So Dasharatha was able to know all this, that there are inauspicious omens which are portending, which are foretelling his death, and that it will be difficult, impossible to make Rama the crown prince. By the mercy of Lord Vasudeva, my obstacles can be removed. But at that point of time, Dasharatha did not know that Vasudeva himself wanted those obstacles. Today, you and your wife should fast and take up vows to become successfully coronated. Thus instructed by his father, he went to his mother's inner quarters and saw Kausalya absorbed in worshipping Lord Narayana. Upon hearing about her son's prosperity, Queen Kausalya had been worshipping Lord Adhokshaja with Sumitra. Rama and Lakshmana offered obeisances unto them. Desirous of Rama's prosperity, Queen Kausalya had taken up a vow of silence while worshipping Lord Narayana. With her eyes full of tears, she now lovingly spoke to her beloved son. Blessings upon you, my child Rama. Protect the saintly and discipline the miscreants. O Master of Earth, protect this earth as if she is your daughter. Having thus pronounced blessings upon her son, she performed auspicious rituals for his prosperity. Rama then permitted Lakshmana to depart and left for his own house with Sita Devi. On the order of the king, the priest Brahma's son, Vasishta, quickly went to Rama's home that was as beautiful as the residence of the husband of Lakshmi. Ornamented by humility, the husband of Sri and the Guru of the three worlds immediately got up from his seat and worshipped the Guru Vasishta in accordance with Shastra. Having taken initiation into the vows pertaining to his coronation according to scriptural regulations, the capable Rama gave a golden ornament and 10,000 cows to the priest Vasishta in charity. Rama offered oblations in the sacrifice, ate Havishyana, and then fasted with his wife. He then fixed his mind on himself, the source of illumination, named Narayana. Controlling his speech, he who sleeps on Shesha slept that night on a nice bed of darbha grass with Janaka's daughter on the instruction of the sage Vasishta. In Ayodhya, there was an unprecedented great festivity among the people. They were excited about Rama's coronation and spoke to each other. The coronation will take place when the sun rises. Oh, when will the sun rise? When will we see Rama after the coronation with Sita? Talking like this, the residents of the city and country, children, the elderly, and women stayed awake the entire night. They simply spoke about Rama. In every house, assembly, street, and pasture, the citizens congregated with eagerness for the great festivity and glorified Rama. On the order of the emperor, the men decorated the entire city with garlands, large and small flags, and so on. And by sweeping and cleaning it, the residents of Kosala were not the only ones satisfied with the nectarian experience of devotion to Rama. Everyone in the three worlds, including Indra and the other cardinal devas, were satisfied, for the king of Kosala was in fact the lord of the three worlds. So beautiful. I mean, this is like really ornamental. Kaikeyi had a relative and maid servant who was born in and grew up at her house. This hunchbacked maid servant named Manthara climbed on top of Kaikeyi's palace and saw the city. Noticing that the city was decorated with satisfied and joyful people, with excellent musical instruments being played, that wicked lady inquired from a nurse, "Auspicious lady, what is this great festivity going on in the city? Why is Rama's mother distributing abundant charity to the Brahmanas?" When she was asked thus, the nurse spoke to her as if while dancing. "Oh, Rama is being coronated. Decorate yourself nicely." Manthara became extremely pained at heart and agitated in fury with red eyes like a female cobra struck by a stick or a tigress whose cubs have been taken away. She was directly the personification of misfortune and had come to live on earth due to some other reason. She had been thrown under Rama's feet, and she grew up with full-fledged animosity towards Rama. She immediately came down from the roof. With long sighs due to her physical exertion, she then ran towards Kaikeyi, who was sleeping at her home, while crying, "Alas, I am now lost." Upon hearing these words from near, Kaikeyi woke up immediately in agitation and asked her, "What happened?" The deceitful Mantra told her, "A great danger has come about. The king is coronating Rama." Kaikeyi became delighted upon hearing this and gave Manthara an ornament for having informed her of this. She then spoke the following words: "Auspicious lady, there is no danger here because the king's sons Rama and Bharata are equally my sons. The eldest son is the best, he is magnanimous and worshipped by people. How can I hate him when he is devoted to me that way, the way he is devoted to his mother?" When Queen Kaikeyi spoke thus, the unfortunate Manthara threw away the ornament. Manthara then spoke again to her while despising her. "You have been unjustly treated because of your humility, and you are certainly immersing yourself into a calamity. Innocent and inexperienced Kaikeyi, taking the side of your co-wife Kausalya, the king has cheated you. Look at Rama's coronation happening when Bharata and his younger brother have gone away. Lakshmana will simply follow Rama just as Shatrughna follows Bharata. If your co-wife's beloved son Rama is coronated, you and your son will have to become servants of Kausalya. Even Bharata's descendants will be servants, for he who is not the son of a king cannot become the king. Only Rama's descendants will be able to become kings. The hero Rama's animosity is hidden in his heart. He can banish your son at any time, but out of your affection for Rama, you are attached to doing that which is undesirable for your son. Backed by austerity, learning, and strength, Diti's sons pierced through Aditi's sons as soon as they discovered a fault. This is the eternal nature of Kshatriya Dharma. When the hunchback spoke thus, Kaikeyi developed the nature of a tormenting woman and said, "This is true. O hunchback, how can the kingdom go to my son? Just one conversation with Manthara and Kaikeyi is gone." Hmm. He's saying, "How can the kingdom go to my son? On what ethical basis can Rama be banished from the kingdom? He is ethical, humble, affectionate to the people, and equal to the very life of his father." When Kaikeyi spoke thus, Manthara smiled gently and asked her, Gentle Kaikeyi, have you forgotten the two boons that your husband has given you? Beautiful face Kaikeyi quickly asked for these excellent boons, the entire kingdom for Bharata and the exile of Janaki's husband. If Rama resides in the forest under vows for 14 years, he will be entirely uprooted, and Bharata will make the people affectionate to himself. When Kaikeyi heard Manthara's opinion in detail, she quickly embraced her maidservant and smilingly said, Good, good. In her delight, she gave her own earrings to the hunchback. Then, in accordance with Manthara's opinion, she quickly went to the house of anger and slept there. Shoka Bhavana. The lotus-eyed king arranged for the ingredients for the coronation and the festivity and then went to Kaikeyi's residence. Remembering his wife Kaikeyi of sweet smiles, he came under the control of passion. He did not see her in her bedroom that was illuminated by jewels. He was disturbed with the thought, Where is my wife? When he entered the house of anger, he saw his youthful wife sleeping on the bare floor. So please note here, he came under the control of passion. And this is where it all started. The king called out to Kaikeyi, who had resolved to engage in sins. Kaikeyi had resolved to engage in sin. Oh, my beloved, and approached her. He embraced her just as one might take hold of a snake if he considers it to be a flower garland and said, Oh, long eyed lady, give up your distress. Oh, lady, who speaks sweetly like a parrot? Speak to me. He's appreciating her that she speaks sweetly like a parrot, saying, Please speak to me. Oh, beloved, how is it that you didn't come to me? I am hurt by the arrows of Cupid. See, gone, passion and ignorance. O queen, in this land surrounded by four oceans, who born outside of the Brahmana community should be punished if he has committed an offense unto you? He's asking who has committed an offense. If they are outside Brahmana community, they should be punished. O thin-waisted one, like a desired tree, I will right now give all that for I belong to you. O lady of sweet smiles, get up with a smile. Upon hearing the words of her husband, Dasharatha's beloved wife spoke these words. O king, always be truthful to your promises. O best of the knowers of dharma, in the past, during a war between the divine and demoniac king beings, didn't I protect you during the war with the Rakshasas, with the knowledge given to me by a Vipra when you were wounded by arrows? O king, you had lovingly given me two boons. I now request you. Who can be thus requested? Though I am your beloved, I am in distress. Upon hearing these words of sweet syllables spoken by the crooked Kaikeyi that resembled the song sung to trap a deer, the heroic Dasharatha became bewildered by Cupid and spoke the following words. O beautiful faced Kaikeyi, I promise on my son Rama, whom I love more than my very life, that it is true that I had given you two boons as you had desired. Hearing the king's promise to fulfill those two boons now, her eyes slightly widened, and she then spoke the following thunderbolt-like words that destroyed the auspiciousness of the world. The witnesses of Dharma are the witnesses for your promise, O king. If Rama is dear to you, give me these two boons. By means of these very arrangements of coronation, coronate Bharata and send Rama to the forest for 14 years. The king's heart was pierced by the arrow of those words. He immediately fell down on the ground like an uprooted tree. The arrow of words released by Manthara with the power of the arrow of Kaikeyi caused the king to fall on the ground, though he could not be punished on pushed onto the ground even by the arrows of the Daityas. The king was overcome by sorrow and perplexity for some time. He somehow regained his consciousness and lay on the floor in distress. Wiping the drops of tears, greatly heated up by his anger and sorrow, he sighed long breaths, looked at Kaikeyi, and told her, Fie up you, fie upon you. You are devoid of intelligence, and you think yourself intelligent when you have evil intelligence. You are like a shameless, talkative actress, like a noisy titty bird. Though you are naturally soft, you are devoid of compassion, like a dagger. Though from a good family, you have been subdued by my enemies. By the arrangement of providence, you have been accepted by me just so that I can perish. You sinful woman, having banished Rama from his home, me from my body, Bharata from his affection for you, you will cause Bharata to fall into the lower worlds. I can never ever be without Rama, just as the day cannot exist without the sun, just as the lotus cannot exist without water, and just as the embodied soul cannot exist without the vital airs. Bharata will not reside in a city abandoned by me and Rama, just as the mind cannot exist in the body abandoned by the life air and the living entity. You are Bharata's mother, my wife, and Ashwapati's daughter, yet you destroy the reputation of three of us who are devoted to Dharma. You have spoken unprecedented words worthy of condemnation that have burnt up all good qualities you have had in the past. Who has ever become envious of Rama? He is pleasing to all creatures. He is an ocean of auspicious qualities. He is straightforward and is unenviable. You have told me in the past, I consider Rama and Bharata to be equal. How can you reject Rama who serves you more than Bharata? How can I tell the spotless Rama to go to the forest? And how can I see his greatly lamenting young wife after Rama leaves her? You are honored by residents of the city and country as possessing all good qualities. Give up this one defect in your thinking, which will defile everything in you. I will give everything you want other than these two boons. O Queen, I offer you my obeisances and beg for your favor. Beautiful lady, protect me. I am miserable, old, most dear to you, and in a state of excessive lamentation. Okay, we'll stop here for today. The climax will happen tomorrow, maybe. Rama willing. Okay, Shri Valmiki Ramayana ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Antakoti Vaishnavebhyo ki jai. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any comments, questions,